On today's episode, we're going to talk about reverse dieting. Should you reverse diet? What does it mean? We're also going to talk about cutting, bulking, lean bulking, all the other buzzwords that we hear people talk about in the fitness industry. We're going to get into it today. So grab your coffee and let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Candidly with Coffee. We are back in the pod. Welcome.
What's up, everybody? We back.
We are back. And before we get too far into this episode, let me just give you guys a little housekeeping reminder. Follow us on Candidly_with_coffee. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And if you have not already left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, we would really appreciate it because it just helps us out. So
show us love. Show us love. Come on, you guys.
Yeah.
We always do. So keep showing us love. We appreciate it.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is my challenge, my 8-week challenge. Registration is going to open up today if you are on the wait list. If you're on the wait list, check your email. Registration is open. If you did not get on the wait list, if there are remaining spots left, it's going to open up on Monday. Stay tuned to Instagram at Jay's Body Bootcamp because that is where I will post it. And you can scoop up one of the remaining spots. I've made a lot of really good changes to this challenge. You're going to get just a lot of fun perks and fun community. We're still going to do the bi-weekly coaches chats where I chat with all of you guys in the community forum. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of exciting changes. So if you've done a previous challenge, it's different. Expect it to be different. It's a different app, different process, but it's still going to be fun. You're going to get macros. You're going to learn how to track your macros. You're going to get a progress tracking app, all that good stuff. So the things that are changing are all improvements, which is good.
You guys better hop on board, man. Life changing. One challenge could change your life. Learn the game. Master yourself. Challenge yourself. Adversity. Face it. Conquer it. Face it head on and conquer it, man. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, and the cool thing is what I wanted to do is we're moving in the process of moving our one-on-one clients over to a new database and a new app. And there's so many cool features within that app. And that process of doing that, I realized, you know what? I need to figure out a way to get my challenge clients over here as well. And even though it's not a hands-on program in the challenge, they can still benefit from some of the extra features. So I'm excited because not only for the challenge clients, but if you're going to sign up with us as a one-on-one client, there's a lot of really cool features as well. The tracking app, the progress tracking, the ability to communicate with us in our one-on-one program, all of that is improving.
And we're able to put our favorite meals in there too, right?
Yeah. You know what I put in there today while I was waiting for you? I actually added your Mike's peanut butter paste.
Oh,
protein peanut butter paste.
She's giving you my secret recipe, you guys.
Yeah.
Go to quick, easy to make. 10 minutes, you can make it paste quick.
Yeah, and it's
Packed with
ridiculous how freaking delicious it is, honestly.
Yeah, I love it, man. I'm hooked on those. I'm addicted. I can eat those every day. Those PB&Js.
I was on a coach's chat before we were recording this, and people were complaining because the peanut butter cookie protein powder sold out. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I feel like I had something to do with that.
You're going to have to ask your dude at 1UP, hey, man, did a lot of my ladies come here and wipe you guys out or people in general?
I know
Mine went viral because the videos have been posting.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those videos have gotten a lot of views, and I can see that I'm getting a lot of people using my codes. I freaking sold out the peanut butter cookie protein powder.
We got a backup, right? I hope
We do, yeah.
All right, good. We can't run out of that.
No, luckily.
One of my go-tos, man.
Yeah, I think we have a back. Are we on the second one already?
No,
No?
we're not. No, we're not on the backup.
You saw that we have the backup in there? I hope so.
I hope so. I don't know. I better check. I thought you ordered another one separately. So.
I thought I did too, but I don't know. We've been using it so much that I can't remember if we are on the backup or not.
You better get the backdoor email to 1UP. Hey, man, as soon as you guys start producing, shoot one out.
They do. It's a staple flavor, though, so it's not like a limited flavor, or else I'd buy like 20 of them. It's a staple flavor, and they restock it all the time, so you just have to keep checking. Anyways, what I also wanted to say real quick about the challenge is that no Facebook is required. That was another thing. I wanted to do away with Facebook. A lot of people just don't like fucking Facebook.
It sucks. It's like Facebook is boring. I'm on there. I go on there, but I barely post. I don't know. It feels like it's just a dead app. Like nothing's happening over there.
Yeah. All right, you guys, moving on to the hot coffee topic. Finnair is an airline. I don't know. It's out of the country, Finnish Airlines or something like that.
Like Finland?
Yeah, they are doing something new now. And I've actually wondered this before, like why more airlines don't do it. They're weighing passengers.
Oh. Dude, how's the reaction of passengers with that?
Not good.
I bet it isn't.
But here's the thing.
But they have to know
Because
their
they
weight.
it's so important that luggage isn't over 50 pounds, but they don't weigh the passengers. So how does that work? You know what I mean? Like most airlines, like the luggage can't be over 50 pounds because of weight distribution.
Yes.
But how do they accommodate the huge variances in people's body weight? How do they accommodate?
I thought about that, but it just never. I thought about that. Like I was thinking about, like, how do you guys know how much the passengers weigh to offset
Right.
the plane?
They have some sort of like a calculation based on people's date of birth, their gender, like a algorithm or automated calculation that tries to figure it out. But in this day and age, with the vast differences in people's body weight, I just feel like that would be a problem.
And people are much larger these days. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
The uncomfortable elephant in the room, but we see it every day. We're out. People are way larger. Americans are eating themselves to death. They're twice the size they used to be when they're younger. So it's like they got to take that accountability. You know what I'm saying? They got to take that in accountability. That this era is much different, man. It's crazy because I'm wondering, what are people thinking? And women are like passing men up. I'm seeing women that are like 300 pounds and up. More common now. Before you see once in a while, I'm seeing it more and more. Saw one last night. We're out to dinner. She's standing right behind us. I go, whoa, lady, what are you doing, mama? What are you eating? You're not supposed to be this big. You're a woman.
It just makes me sad, honestly.
What's wrong? I want to ask, what's wrong with you? There's got to be something traumatic for you to be eating that way. You're eating yourself to death.
Yeah.
She was large. She was twice my size. I'm a man, babe.
No, I know, I saw
I'm
her. But it
180
makes
pound
me
man.
sad
Yeah.
because sometimes I see the uncomfortable habits of people that are overweight and they feel uncomfortable. They have to, they pull their, and I know because I used to do this actually. So when I was overweight, when I would sit down, I would lean back and pull my clothes out so that it wouldn't tuck.
Yeah.
I remember doing that, and
Yeah.
I did it for a long time. Even I still do it. I think I actually was editing our Patreon from last night, and I saw myself pulling my shirt, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I got that habit."
Yeah.
Because when I was overweight, I didn't want my shirt to be caught inside my rolls.
Oh, wow.
So I would pull it.
I see that a lot with women.
And so I see women do that, and it makes me sad because it just brings me back to when I used to do that.
Yeah.
Did you used to do that when you were bigger? Like, because I used to see you play with your shirt when you were uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think I still do. I still pull like my shirts down. Maybe I had a habit. I don't know what it is. But if I'm not uncomfortable. I'm more comfortable than ever.
I know.
But
it could be a habit that
because you don't want your belly to show. So you're pulling the shirt down. You're doing this.
Yeah.
So you pull it down like this.
Yeah.
So I think I do have a habit of doing that.
Yeah, I think you do that. But I know that I used to do that for that reason. Because I used to, especially on the side right here, because I had a little fat roll right here, and I wouldn't like when my shirt would get stuck in there.
Yeah. And we can both relate. We're not just throwing jabs or daggers at you. We've both been on the other side, so we know what it's like. I have, you have. And I think people see us in today's era, and they see the way we look like, and they think automatically, oh, they've been fit forever. No. Took a while. I was not fit forever. I was fat a lot of years, more than fit. I always had like little periods where I was in shape, lean, and I lose it. Couldn't hold on to it, which we're going to get into.
Yeah, that's with maintenance and all of that, which we talked about on a couple of episodes ago. Speaking of episodes, if you guys watched Monday's episode, let me know what you guys thought of that. Obviously, my niece Michelle was on. And speaking of, like you were talking about, seeing people out and about and overweight, like you have to wonder, what is it that they're going through that has brought them to that point? And talking to Michelle, we talked about how she uses food. She's an emotional eater, and she uses food to self-soothe.
Me too. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
I've done it. I think I was eating quite a bit when your mom was going through her,
you did.
her little phase, right? Yeah, I put on some weight.
The other time I saw you go on a bender, it's literally like a bender. Once you get on those kicks. After your mother, that's when you put on a significant amount of weight.
I got a picture of me at SEMA, which is a car event in Vegas, huge auto event, and there's a picture of me and my father, and you were like, whoa. I was looking like I was a heavyweight. I was probably like 220, 230 there.
Think about this too. We got married at the end of July. SEMA was just a few months later. You were not overweight at our wedding.
Not really.
So you put on a lot of weight in a very short period of time because you probably were just out of control eating your emotions.
You know what it is too? Part of it is we talked about this. And with addicts, we got to control ourselves because also addicts, I got ADHD, impulse. So, and then if I stop caring, then everything goes out the window. I don't give a shit. I'll go crazy. It's like I'm chasing a drug. Food, what I come to realize is food is like the most dangerous drug that's out there. And it's not a drug. It's just because the addiction of it, because it's so accessible everywhere. And it's hard to control because it's everywhere. It's not illegal. It's available to us round the clock. Everything's open 24/7. You have access to most fast food places open round the clock, so it's dangerous. You get this, Uber Eats now and DoorDash. You have to leave from your phone right to your house. Remember, I discovered DoorDash and started going crazy at one point too. So you have to respect food. You have to have respect for food, man.
Yeah, when Tyler set you up on DoorDash when we all got COVID.
Yes.
And you went on a tear with the DoorDash. Once you figured out how to use that app, that was like
all bad. You got to be careful with addicts, man. And like you said, you got to be wondering what people are going through. And I think a lot of people are addicts to other things. And what happens, and not to get off topic, what happens after people stop smoking cigarettes? They gain a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
Always. They were super skinny, and all of a sudden they stop smoking, and then all of a sudden they get fat, quick, big.
Yeah, and I've heard people before say that because it does something to your metabolism, whatever.
That
no,
too.
that's
I used to
not
think
what
that
it
too.
is. It's not that. It's just that you're trading one behavior for another behavior. A lot of people I've known people who quit smoking that become addicted to gum chewing.
Really? Gum chewing, huh?
Yeah, gum chewing because they want to put something in their mouth, put something in their mouth.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't get crazy though after I gave up weed. I didn't pick up no crazy new addiction.
Right off the bat, you went to caffeine though, remember?
That I did. Okay, you're right. That. I didn't go to food though.
No, thank goodness.
I didn't go to alcohol or something else stupid or something.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't go to food. You're right. I started drinking too much caffeine.
No. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for this word from One Up Nutrition before we get into Comment Corner. It is no secret to you guys by now how much I love my One Up Nutrition supplements. They are a part of my daily routine, from the daily cleanse and the gut health plus that help keep my digestion on point, to their protein powders that I incorporate into so many different recipes. The ISO protein is very easy to digest and only 110 calories per scoop. Their products are third-party tested, so you know what you're getting. They're made in the USA. If you use code Janine at checkout for a discount. That's JEANINE. All right, you guys, now let's get into Comment Corner. This first one comes to us from Liz Ham 5442. This helped so much. I'm very diligent in maintenance, but I have noticed the scale creeping up. What you shared made so much sense about needing to leave room for error. She's talking about reverse dieting, which is perfect because we're going to talk. She's talking about maintenance, how difficult it is to maintain, which is perfect because in a bit we're going to talk about reverse dieting. But let's get into the next comment, which is Carrie Halter 2750. I'm a new listener here, really loving your show. Mike, you do look like Vin Diesel, LOL. Thanks for keeping it real and so much fun.
I'm still getting that all these years later, huh?
You do, though, because there's a filter on Instagram where Vin Diesel is like up behind me and put his arms around me, and it really legitimately looks like you. Even like the forehead, and like he has a vein on his forehead kind of like you. I mean, you guys have similar facial features.
So is that why you pursued me? Because I look like Vin Diesel?
Maybe. Because I did have a thing for Vin Diesel.
No, I'm serious. It helped at that era when I was single. Remember, I would get compared a lot to him. The tattoos, I worked out, my head's bald, for sure. I heard it some dudes, women, all the fucking time. You've been with me, people. What's up, Vin Diesel?
Oh, yeah, a lot. All right, you guys, moving on to the next comment. Lizzie6315, I agree so much. I lost 120 pounds 22 years ago, and I've kept it off. I will never allow myself to go back to that way of life and how I felt. It's worth the hard work and dedication to never feel like that again in my life. I started lifting weights during COVID, and I'm continuously trying to change the recomposition of my body. I would love to hear your thoughts on recomp versus bulk cutting. This podcast has been a bright spot in my week because it really isn't easy. Maintenance is so much harder than losing weight. I relate so much to everything you guys talk about. It feels good to know that other people think the way I do. Keep up the great work. You're an inspiration to keep going. That was a great comment to segue into our topic today, because I do want to talk about, what does she talk about? Recomp. That's another buzzword. Recomp. We're going to talk about reverse dieting, maintenance, bulking, cutting, all that stuff. But before we get into that, let's get into this word from Mega Fit Meals. You guys, I am just busy these days. And on these busy days, Mega Fit Meals comes in clutch. They keep me on track with their macro balanced meals. They have delicious options. All you have to do is heat and serve. They're constantly updating their menu. They even have some treats. The best part about it is there is no subscription required. You simply order online. They ship nationwide. You've got to give them a try. The link is in the description. If you are a first-time customer, send me a message and I have a special discount code for you. You have to try MegaFit. You will not be disappointed. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for giving us a little moment there, a little break. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little blurb from MegaFit Meals. I have been really enjoying MegaFit Meals. By the way, I wanted to give you guys a little tip to bulk up your MegaFit meal. Have a little side salad. Just add a bunch of greens, add a little bit of dressing, and then throw your MegaFit Meals on top of it. And then it's just, boom, double the size.
Got your little hack.
I've been doing that lately, and it's just been amazing. And I'm getting in my greens. I'm getting in my kale or my arugula, because I'm not the best at veggies, to be honest.
Guess what I had this morning from MegaFit Meals?
What?
They're those pancakes.
How were those?
Oh, my goodness. You guys, you pancake lovers. And I make a lot of pancakes.
They did a collab with Kodiak.
Were delicious. I had that with their PB&J half. Oh, that breakfast was, my goodness. Happy. You see me? Happy dance.
Yeah.
With a side of yogurt and protein. I had a huge breakfast. It was good. So I was full. But yeah, their pancakes are legit. I haven't tried I can't wait to try their steak and eggs. It's nice to mix it up.
Yeah, I'm hungry just thinking about it because
their food is good. And I used to be anti-meal prep because we tried different companies and different people and they all sucked. These ones are legit.
All right, so let's get into, first, let's talk about reverse dieting. What is a reverse diet and do you need to do one? So if you go through a period of time where you lose a significant amount of weight. So say your deficit calories, let's just throw a number out there, is 1,500 calories. And you have been at 1,500 calories for however many months or something around those low deficit calories. And now you're at your goal weight. What do? How do you bring it back to maintenance? Some people will say, isn't maintenance calories just adding back? I created a 500 calorie deficit, so now can I add back in 500 calories? I would not recommend doing that.
I was going to say I wouldn't recommend doing that either.
No, because there's several things. There's several things that happen that I think it's important to explain when you are cutting. For one, you do not know what your maintenance calories are anymore because you have a different body now.
Yes, you're right. You changed your body composition.
You changed your body.
And your metabolism's different.
That's all part of it too. So you've changed your body. So what changes when you change your body? When you're smaller, you have a lower basal metabolic rate.
BMR.
Your body also, so your T3 and T4 hormones are what's generated or created by the thyroid. And that is what regulates our energy balance in our body. That's what is our metabolism, makes up our BMR. When you lose weight, that lowers. So that drops. Also, during the course of your weight loss, did you lose any muscle? Even if your intention wasn't to lose muscle, a lot of times during a deficit, you do lose some lean mass. So your basal metabolic will drop because of that as well. Your body will also be actively trying to recover the weight it lost. So leptin levels drop, ghrelin levels increase. So there's a lot of different moving parts that you now have to figure out what your maintenance is.
Yeah.
So it's not that a reverse diet does a whole lot. It's not tricking your body to eat more calories or anything.
No.
It's not doing that. But what it is doing, it's allowing you to slowly figure out what that sweet spot is.
Yeah.
So you have to add calories in slowly and monitor what your weight does, see where it stabilizes, and then I would set your calories a little lower than that as maintenance. And that is what a reverse diet is.
Me personally, I think for me, when I go back, and we've done it for me, my maintenance was just bumped up 200 calories to what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Not too much, not too crazy.
Yeah, that's good because you're making up. Yeah, obviously you're in a bigger deficit than a 200 calorie deficit, but you just gave yourself, you just figured, okay, I'm going to add 200.
Yeah.
That's what I did too, because I like that because it not only you add 200 and then the rest of it you make up with being a little looser because now you're in maintenance. You're going to be looser. You're going to have heavier cheat days.
Yes. That's true.
Another big thing that people do or that happens inadvertently when they've gone through a deficit, their neat calories drop. They become less active during non-activity when they are a smaller person. They become less active statistically. Your neat calories drop to the tune of like 15 to 20% for some. So that can also impact why your maintenance calories might not be as high as you think and why it's important to figure out what maintenance is at your new activity level. Also, a lot of times when people stop their deficit, what do they stop doing? Cardio. Why did they stop doing that? Why stop moving? You got to keep moving. Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. People hate that word. It's like diet and cardio. Real easy, you guys. All you got to do is get your steps in. You want to do on a treadmill inside of a gym, cool. But if it's outside and it's nice, listen to our podcast, listen to a podcast, listen to something inspirational music, and go walk for an hour plus. Go get your steps in. And always set your step goal every day.
The reason I like the step goal or a step or miles, I actually don't do a step goal. Personally, I've been doing miles lately. It's easier for me to track. But is because then you know what your baseline movement is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If I know that I move to the tune of about 30 miles a week, then I know, okay, that's my output. That's my energy output. I move to the tune of about 30 miles a week. So if suddenly something changes, I start putting on a little weight or something, I'm like, that's weird. I haven't changed my macros. I'll look at my data and be like, oh,
yeah,
I've been only putting in about 15 miles a week. That's a significant impact to one of my data points. And that's why the weight's creeping back up.
Yep.
If your weight starts moving, something has changed. Something has changed. One of your data points has changed. The amount of energy you're taking in, what you're putting out, something has changed. It's not something poof out of the sky is depositing fat into your body.
So that's why I think someone came on our live and was asking like, well, I'm in maintenance and I can't seem to, the weight's creeping back up and I'm in maintenance.
You're not in maintenance.
Something changed. Yeah, exactly. Something changed. Listen, like you said, it's data points, it's numbers, and it's activity level. So maybe you're less active now. Maybe that level does work for you, but if you're less active, it's going to creep back up on you. You got to make the adjustments.
Yeah.
Got to be honest with yourself.
That's why I like for our one-on-one clients, I have them plug in all of that stuff. If they have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit and we have access to what they're tracking. So if they're like, hey, I don't know what's going on. Like I checked in, my weight's creeping up, and we can look at their data points. That's what we are there to do, is analyze that stuff for them, going, you know what? Look what's happening here, there.
Yes.
And that's how you figure it out.
Yep.
But let's also talk about recomping, what recomp means. So what recomp means is you are changing the distribution of your weight. So recomp means maybe you're going to lower your body fat and increase muscle. Ideally, it's not lowering muscle, increasing body fat, but recomposition means that your weight is shifting, right? And usually when people say I'm recomping, it means they are actively trying to put on muscle and lose body fat. So what's the difference between a recomp and a cut? So a recomp is a small deficit, and you keep your deficit small so that you still have strength and you have enough calories to actively put on muscle, and you're eating adequate protein.
Yeah.
And then losing body fat at the same time. It's a recomp like that is a slow process, though.
Yeah,
it's very slow, number one. And there's not a lot of change that happens on the scale. So people get, is anything even happening? So you have to just do the work, know you're doing the work, and then a year down the road, 6 months down the road, you'll see all of the visible changes in your body. But it's harder to see a recomp because it's a slow process.
Yeah, people want instant change these days.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants instant gratitude. Like if they don't see instant change in 2 weeks or 4 weeks, they start panicking and like throwing the towel or something. It's not working. Like
I feel like personally, I'm always rather than like maintenance, I think I'm in a constant state of recomp because I don't usually like to put myself back to maintenance calories, and I'm always trying to put muscle on. So I prefer to be in a little deficit and actively try to put muscle on. Whereas depending on how diligent I am, that means some weeks I'm probably in a little bit of a surplus, actively trying to put muscle on. Some weeks I'm maintaining. Some weeks I am in a little deficit. And then that's like where I like to live personally.
you like to be in you basically like to be in a good flow state, balance. Mm-hmm. Not too much of either or. Yeah.
Whereas bulking needs to go away. Nobody needs to bulk.
No, that's another word. It gives you a license to get fat. Because I was in the gym in the 90s. So I come from that old school bodybuilding era. And that's what I was told by bodybuilders, our competitors, like, yo, don't worry about dieting and eating chicken. Just eat steak and eggs and eat everything in sight. Put on some size, put on some mass, bulk up. Okay. I didn't know any better, but my stomach bulked up with it. Got fat as well.
Right.
Body fat everywhere. I have pictures of my 20s. I was thick. I was big. I was strong. But I was also bulky. Fat.
Yeah, it's just basically you're going to eat a lot of calories, uncontrolled amount of calories.
Yes.
You're going to put on a lot of body fat, and you're going to have a lot of strength in the gym, so you'll be able to put on muscle, but you're going to lose some of that muscle in the process of having to lose all that body fat. So wouldn't you have been better off just doing something a little more conservative? And that's what I'd like to call a lean bulk. So a lean bulk is what you put yourself into a little bit of a surplus. You will put on body fat, but you will be able to put on muscle faster than if you're trying to just do a recomp.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Instead of just stuffing your face. Yes, it's like, I don't want to rag on them, but like power lifters, I think they just because they're power lifters, they're built for strength. So they eat tons of calories, like especially the professional ones. They're up to 10,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
They're not really tripping on the aesthetics of their body.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But if you just, like you said, if you just carefully bump it up just a little bit, you can you'll get some strength and you'll build muscle without packing on too much body fat. Because if you pack on too much body fat, you got all these layers of shed off.
Yeah, and then in the process of shedding the fat off, you're going to lose some of that muscle you gained anyway.
Yes.
So yes, you gained the muscle a little more rapidly.
Yes.
But the extra muscle that you gained, you're going to lose in the process of losing the body fat. So what's the point?
Exactly. But people don't know that. I think people just are not educated, not informed. And that's the beauty about having people like us now. 2024 with medical science and breakthrough, nutritional science and breakthroughs, like we're getting more educated. We didn't have tracking apps 20 plus years ago. It was all by word. It was all bro science. Now you can hold yourself accountable or get a coach to hold you accountable, and then we can see the data, what's going on with you.
Yeah, and I think that it's just important to be very transparent with people when they have a goal in mind. Because don't you notice, and because I always will say the same thing, be specific with your goal. Like, what are you trying to say? I'm trying to tone up, or I'm trying to ramp things up with my body. What do you mean exactly? Let's be real specific.
Yeah, or I want to get toned, or I want to build muscle, but I want to get bulky. How many times I've heard that come out of women's mouth? What did you just say? So you basically what you're telling me is you want to put on muscle, but you don't want to get fat. Yes, you can do that. You're not going to get bulky, sweetheart. The whole thing of lifting weights, I think they're going to get too bulky.
Yeah, but I also feel like it's important. I'm always really transparent when somebody tells me what their goal is, because a lot of times they'll always say, I want to put on muscle and I want to do this, but I don't want to gain weight, but I don't want to lose weight. I need to put on muscle, but I need to lose body fat, but I don't need to lose weight. They'll say like double negatives a lot of times.
Yep.
Or I like to just be very clear. But first I like to know, okay, what are you trying to do? Because most of the time I'll get people say, I want to put on muscle, but I don't want to put on any body fat. In the process of putting on a decent amount of muscle, you are going to put on some body fat in that process. Yes. But if you do it in such a way, like a lean bulk, it'll be minimal. Then you can go into a mini cut, take off that body fat pretty easily. It's basically what we just did, because we went into quote unquote like a maintenance for a little bit there for a few months. But we did a lean bulk because we didn't go into true maintenance. We kept it, try to be in a conservative maintenance, but still actively try to put on muscle. So I would say what we're just coming out of is a lean bulk.
Yeah.
But now we're in a mini cut. So we didn't put on a ton of body fat, but we're just going into a 5-6 week cut to take off that body fat. And now we will have more muscle than we did a few months back.
Yes.
But it's very important to be transparent with clients when they come to me with a goal like that or a goal that's not realistic. I'm just like, no, you can't do that.
No.
I want to put on muscle, but I don't want to put on any body fat, or I don't want the scale to move, because mentally they're like, I want to lose the exact amount of body fat that I put on in muscle, so I want to keep the scale the same. It's no. Let's be realistic.
They're like spinning their own wheels and don't even know it.
Yeah.
Like this is what it sounds like when you talk to us like that. Like you're spinning your wheels, you're making no sense. This is honest truth.
It's a process, but it's up to your coach or who you work with to just be really honest with you on what that process will entail. Yeah. Because in maintenance, when you're trying to put on muscle and you're trying to do a lean bulk, you might start creeping up a few pounds, but it's no big deal. You can go into a mini cut and get rid of it. At the end of the day, what is it? Do you want to look better? You want your body to be nicer? Just let whatever that path is, let it be. Don't fixate on the little details that you can't control.
No.
Because in that process, sometimes you have to go through a little bit more body fat or...
Of course. I see it all the time. I could see the women in the gym nowadays, the ones that are going for that like lean bulk, that strength, the way they're training, the amount of muscle, the amount of weight that they're pushing. Mm-hmm. I said, okay. Then I could see the ones that are a little more thinner and leaner, pushing less weight. I'm like, all right, she's probably just going for a little cut. I can just tell by the way people train.
Yeah, I feel the difference. Like I definitely.
What do you feel right now? What do you explain to them? What are you feeling? Like, how's your strength levels? How's your energy, strength? What do you?
My deficit is minimal right now, so I don't really feel. I don't feel a big difference right now in my strength. But when I was in the deficit in last year, July, what was it, like September, October timeframe?
Yeah.
I definitely felt, I felt that my strength was not very, that was before I started TRT. I felt weak, and I did feel like I was losing a little bit of muscle on that deficit until I started TRT, and with a little tiny bit of testosterone just gave me that little bit of strength I needed to retain my muscle at least through the rest of that deficit. And then I stopped that deficit at the beginning of the year, and then I went into this, I would call it, you can call it maintenance, but it ended up being more of like a lean bulk because I put on a little bit of body fat in that maintenance mode. But during the course of that, I feel like I was able to put on muscle. So you could call that a lean bulk, even though maybe the intention was maintenance, but that's what usually happens with people.
And how are you feeling now, right now, at this moment?
I feel strong. I feel good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think people overdo it. They go a little too extreme, and I try to tell my clients, like, please do not chase the weight loss. What I mean by that is don't eat below your calories. Just eat what I give you. Listen to me. Don't try to trick the game and eat 500 less or 600. I think a lot of times people want to do that. Don't do that. Just eat your calories. Let nature take its course. It will come off. I promise you. We have the blueprint for this. It'll work.
Yeah, and when you mess with it like that, then you're gonna on the back end you're gonna like have a heavy day, or you have to. If you hire a coach and they give you macros, just follow what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Don't try to do other things.
Don't try to rewrite our blueprint. Stay with it. Trust me, it works. Enjoy yourselves. Don't be, I want to lose weight faster. I'm going to start depleting myself faster. I see that a lot. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing why I feel, this is off topic, but this is the same thing why I feel when I see people jogging. Like I saw this woman jogging. She had 2 dogs. They're all over the place. She's unbalanced jogging. Sweet sweat thing wrapped around her waist. She's breathing heavy. She looks miserable. And you know, I wanted to tell her, like, sweetheart, stop chasing the weight loss. Just walk. You're going to burn the same amount of calories in 3 miles than you're trying to run it. And miserable. And I don't understand that.
The running requires ATP. So when you deplete all of your glycogen, if you go on like for a long run, your body will not use stored body fat to sustain the rest of that run. You will completely gas out and feel miserable, or your body will convert your muscle, or it'll break down muscle and convert that into energy.
Yes.
And so that is why runners and marathon runners have a very specific body type.
Yes.
They're very lean and skinny, scraggly, flabby.
Yes, flabby.
Because they're burning through muscle. It's very hard to retain muscle when you're marathon running.
Yes, you could tell. You could see their bodies. And it almost looks, if I'm being honest, the men and women, it looks like they ages them real bad.
Because the pounding,
They
the
say
sagging of the skin.
yeah, they say that makes you age because you're pulling on your skin, you're making it up
ligaments,
and down.
yeah.
That's what they said. Some doctors said that you shouldn't run after a certain age because you can age you, and you're beating your joints down real bad. What's the purpose?
Yeah, and I personally rather create the bulk of my calorie deficit with nutrition. It's a lot easier to manipulate nutrition than it is to create your deficit with activity. So besides walking, like walking is great, like rapid walking, slow walking, whatever. Walking is great.
Yep.
I don't worry about the calories I burn for my walk really because I'm trying to create my deficit with my nutrition. It's much easier to do that. It's
Way easier.
It takes a lot of work to burn off 100 calories during exercise, but you could easily just lop off 100 calories off of your diet. And you know what? I'm just not going to have those 10 almonds and there's that 100 calories.
Yes.
And it didn't take me any time. So what's important to you? Is your time important to you? Because if your time is important to you, you can manipulate your nutrition a lot easier than you can burn all these extra calories.
But that's what I feel like with people, like they're chasing weight loss. So they're trying to run their weight loss off. Like they want to get to the finish line and hurry. Like, if I run more, I'm going to lose this weight fast. No, you're not. You're just going to hate this. And eventually you're going to do this for a couple of weeks and you're going to give in and say, I don't want to do this no more. It's not for me, and quit.
Right.
We see it time and time again. People fail left and right. It's like probably like 9% failure rate.
Because if you don't like the process, if it's miserable to you, you're not going to be able to stick to it. So you have to create something that's not miserable and be real. Don't try to work on too many goals at one time.
No.
Like right now, my goal is not to put on muscle. My goal is simply to shed my body fat.
Yes.
That is my goal right now. For a short period of time, it is simply let's shed some body fat to see what I've got under here and see where I'm at. Then after our trip, I will reassess where I'm at and I will create a new goal and that will be my focus. People try to work on too many things at one time. Oh, I want to get shredded and I want to build muscle and I want to do this and I want to do that. When it comes to your body and your physique, work on one focus at a time.
One step at a time. As coaches, what do? What's the first thing? Consistency. Learn to weigh your food and learn to put it in the tracker. And you're going to miss some days. You're going to miss some meals. So you're going to have, not failing, but you're going to learn. It's a learning curve. It's a learning process. Then we get good at that. Then you're like, oh, okay, I get it. You start mastering that. Then we move on to the next step. And then the next step. There's steps. But you guys, don't go from 1 to 10 and then cross over the middle.
I do also like to focus on, for the most part, when I start with a client, they have a significant amount of body fat to lose.
Yes.
Let's focus just on losing your body fat in a healthy way, meaning let's just keep the muscle you have right now and lose body fat. We'll see where we end up and see what your physique is and what your body composition is once we can see it, when we get that body fat off of you. And then we can see, oh, you have a decent amount of muscle under there. Let's just work on maintaining that muscle. Or you need to put on a significant amount of muscle. Let's focus on that. Let's put you into a little bit of a lean bulk and focus on that. But for the most part, if you are starting a weight loss journey, you need to go through just a good, steady fat loss phase to see where you're at. I almost like to say, like, you're going to strip it down and see what you're working with before you start figuring things out, because you might be someone who you've got like overdeveloped traps or like really big shoulders but no biceps, no forearms or whatever. Like, you don't really know because there's so much body fat on you. We don't see what we're working with. Let's strip the body fat down, see what we're working with, and then it's like an artist almost. You're like, you know what, we need to focus on this, or we need to focus on your shoulders. Some people, like, they'll have big biceps. You know, and I'm talking maybe more of men.
Triceps, yes.
Or big biceps.
You see that in bodybuilding.
No shoulders. It looks like they're
slopey.
like this.
Yeah, slopey. I know what you mean. And can I tell you guys a secret? You guys are all shredded. Every single one of you. All you ladies, if there's some men on here, every single one of you guys are shredded. Even you guys that are overweight, maybe even obese, are shredded. That person's just underneath all that body fat.
Yeah.
We're all shredded under there. I think people don't realize that. They don't see it. They don't know. Anatomy, if we snapped our finger, stripped all that body fat off you, took you to single digits, you'll see what you really look like. Every single one of you is shredded. All of us are shredded. It's just stripping off body fat. It's like a clay, sculpting, like you say, just peeling it off.
Yeah, so just let's the only reason you think you're not shredded, the only reason you think you're not toned is because you've never stripped off enough body fat to see that you are shredded. If you can get up out of a chair and walk across a room, you are shredded, because guess what? It is muscles that is allowing you the ability to stand up out of a chair and walk across a room. You have muscles if you can do that. You're not a jellyfish. You're not flopping around. You have muscle. I had that realization when I started working with Matt, and I was never really great about building muscle or whatever. So I didn't know what I had underneath. And he had told me, like, let's strip down your body fat and see what we're working with.
Did you understand at the time what he was trying to teach you?
No, because I thought, I don't have muscles. There's no way. I thought I was going to be like skin and bones. You guys, I was shredded under there. I had muscles. I was so excited. I couldn't.
You got to put up a picture for them to see. Because how did it feel? I never asked you, how did it feel to see your true self back then? Because you got diced, man. I was with you. I saw you. I saw the process change. Damn, this girl's shredded.
I tell you guys, I want everybody to experience that feeling before you leave this earth. I wish I could bottle that feeling to know what I couldn't believe it was me, and that I could do that, and that I was that person. And that's why at that moment, when I remember looking at myself going, damn, I did it, I became addicted to fitness at that moment. That was the moment where I thought, you even more hooked. I always want to feel like a fit person, because this is the best feeling that money cannot buy.
Yeah. And look who you inspired, your own daughter. She ended up competing, getting shredded. At first, she was like, because I remember I mentioned it to you, like, your daughter has great, like, body composition type. She came from the acro world. I could tell her body has a lot of muscles. If she stripped off that body fat under there, I bet you she would be muscular and diced, and she did it too. And I'm sure she was blown away by seeing her body change.
Yeah, and then she became addicted to fitness. And once you experience that and you get a taste of that, like, you become addicted to that feeling. And so many people, for whatever reason, they have something in their head that they think, but it can't be me. I can't get like that.
Yes.
It's too late for me. I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that. I don't have enough muscle. I don't like to work out that much. The newsflash, you actually do not have to work out that much. Everybody's shredded. The way you are watching this right now, driving your car, you're listening to this podcast right now, the way you are right now, underneath the body fat, you are shredded. Shredded. So let's just get the body fat off of you so you can experience that feeling, that fit feeling. And then, yes, you'll become addicted to that, and then you'll want to put on more muscle. And then that's a whole other process in and of itself, because I'm significantly more muscular now than I was when I first shed off that body fat. I just have a little body fat covering it. But once I get down that body fat down, you'll be able to see that I'm much more muscular now. But it's just it's a really good feeling to feel fit. It's just a different feeling.
You're right. Look at me. I got down to maybe a little too low. I wouldn't say too low as a challenge, but I got down to 165, 7% body fat. 48-year-old man. Diced. Everything. You can see you can see veins in my triceps, veins in my shoulders coming out of my like things I've never seen before. Little V-taper veins down here. Yeah. Like, that's insane. I never had that in my life. But again, it's not because I have special genetics or I did 1,000,000 crunches or walked 10 million steps. All I did was shed body fat. I listened to you. Yeah. You told me, here's your macros, follow these, and I did it, and my body changed. My composition never changed in my life till I did that with you, the macros. Never had that lean body in my life.
No, you worked out your whole life.
My whole life.
You were a gym dude your whole life.
Yes, even when you met me, younger, much younger.
And you never experienced that until you followed the macros I gave you.
Facts, 100%.
Why?
My body changed
because you shed the body fat.
That's it. I had a lot of muscle under there.
You had a lot of muscle. You shed the body fat. You have another client right now. He has a ton of muscle.
Ton.
He has no idea what that muscle looks like. I can tell that he has a lot of muscle.
Yes.
He has no idea. He thinks, oh, I got to do this exercise and this.
No.
We just got to get the body fat off.
Yes.
Because you are filled with muscle. You've been working out your whole life. You're filled with muscle.
Yes.
You just never been able to see it because you have a blanket of body fat on you.
Yep.
The blanket's shrinking now. He's getting closer.
Yes.
But so many women, especially, I feel, they just don't think they can get there.
No.
But you can. You just have to keep going. And people freak out. I don't know what it is. It's like they go like, oh, I'm afraid I can't get that skinny. No.
Who told
don't
you
worry
that?
about that.
Yeah, who told you that? I hate when people say that. Some men say it too. Well, I don't want to get that low in weight. I don't want to get too skinny or feel too small. Man, shut your insecure ass up. There's a beast waiting under there waiting to reveal himself, bro. You get to where I'm at. You would have told me years ago. You met me. I was probably like 220. Felt pretty good, pretty strong. I had body fat. If you would have told me you got to get in the 70s to be really diced, like 170 or so, I'm like, you're fucking crazy. Really? I got down to 190 when I got out of prison. I thought that was pretty lean. Not even close. You saw pictures of me. Now I'm lighter and I look bigger.
Yeah.
How is it that I'm under 180 pounds and I look way bigger than I did back then?
Yeah, it's crazy. And here's a news flash for you. If you have stubborn body fat on your body that you want to lose, the only way to lose it is by being in a calorie deficit.
That's it.
So if I had a nickel for every time someone came to me and said, I have this fat that I want to lose, my arms, my back, my pooch, but I don't want to lose weight, but I need to get rid of this. How do I do it? You have to go in a calorie deficit. Like, what part of you, why do you have to say that? Why do you say that? Why do I don't want to lose weight? What the fuck? Yes.
You do.
If you have body fat that you want off your body, you have to lose weight in order to do that. How do you do that? Being in a calorie deficit. I feel like a fucking broken record.
Yeah, right? Listen, she might hear this, but I had a family member. Her crazy ass was ready to get surgery in the back of her arms because she was carrying too much body fat. She didn't like her back arms. She said, I can't get rid of this. You gotta lose body fat. Stop trying to cheat the fucking game with surgery, man.
Yeah.
Ladies, you don't need to fucking do some crazy shit to get the body fat off your stomach, to get your mom pooch off. You need to lose body fat. That's it. It'll go away.
It will.
You might have a little loose skin, but it'll go down. It's still body fat. Body fat is body fat. People, they think it's like some special fat that doesn't come off.
And sometimes people will think it's skin, but it's body fat. Because I can tell you right now from personal experience, when I am a little heavier, I have what looks to be like saggy skin on my lower stomach. But when my body fat is low enough, my stomach is flat as a board.
Yeah.
And you've seen it.
Yes, I've seen it.
Post babies.
2 babies.
Post babies. When I get lean enough, it's flat as a board. And suddenly that loose skin is gone. It appears to be loose skin, but it's just subcutaneous body fat.
Yep.
So a lot of time, don't just write something off as you think it's skin. A lot of times it's body fat.
Yeah, that's true. But a lot of people have it in their head, and they're like hard-headed and stubborn because they heard it or put in their head like, oh, it's just, I can't get rid of this loose extra skin, this flabby skin. It's body fat, man. She's just telling you that. I don't know. They like want some...
And if you're not sure, let me know. If you're my client, send me a picture and I will let you know. I'll be honest. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, you know what? That's the price you pay for being obese for a certain amount of time. You created some damage on your body and you're going to be left with some loose skin. It is what it is. At least it's loose skin doesn't impair your health.
That's true. So, loose skin doesn't impair it. Because I've seen quite a few dudes, and I've told you, I got to reach out to one of them, by the way. They're like 400 pounders, and now they're like 250 pounders jacked, but the bottom part is a little loose, stretched out skin.
But it doesn't impair your health. You're healthier. Who cares?
They look way better, though. Way better. They look jacked. They might have to surgically get that fixed. But so what? They got rid of all that body fat. Now they look way like a different person, different human.
Exactly.
Their health is in a much better place. Mm-hmm. So you got to remember that, too. Stop chasing weight loss. Just think about your health, number one. And everything else will fall into place. Think about how much healthier you'll be, too. So important. It's overlooked.
Just remember, it's a project. And
it is.
You do have control over it. I feel like people, like, you can achieve what you want. So if you want to lose body fat, you can lose. It's within your control to lose body fat.
Yes, it is.
If you want to put on muscle, it is within your control to do that. So whether you need to be in a cut, and chances are you're going to go through multiple phases, by the way. You're going to go into maybe a cut. And if you were in that cut for a significant period of time, lost a significant period of weight, then you need to go into a reverse diet to get yourself to the point where you are in maintenance, which my recommendation would be slightly below maintenance. And then if you want to go into a period of where you're going to put on muscle, go into a lean bulk. My advice would be to avoid a full-on bulk because there is no great benefit to a full-on bulk. So that's basically it, guys. That's
it. You're looking for some magic secret answers, and you just gave them you. There's no other secret. Don't go looking on TikTok looking for somebody's stupid ass snake oil salesman. Do this, do that, gimmicky shit. It doesn't work.
The basics work. That you have to put time and commitment, decide what it is specifically that you're trying to accomplish.
Yes.
So that you're not spinning your wheels. Oh, I want to lose body fat, but I want to put on muscle, but I don't want to put on weight. Da, da, da. No. Figure out what your goal is. Keep your eye on the prize. Stop at nothing till you achieve that goal.
Nothing.
Reassess.
Nothing.
Create a new goal. So on and so forth. And you will achieve what you're trying to do.
That's it. And like she said, and I always say this to my clients, do not tap out. Do not quit on yourselves. You're going to fall off the horse during your journey. You get back up, though. That's just part of life. You fall down, you don't fail. You fail forward. You keep getting better. You keep getting better. You keep, every time, minor setback, you get back on. Now you're building discipline. You're getting stronger with yourself each time. So remember that. It's like that Rocky Apollo quote, there is no tomorrow. So keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah, and you have to enjoy the journey because it's a project and it's a long-term project, but there's no better project you can work on than yourself.
None. Zero. Come on. Best investment on planet Earth, the most valuable player, most important player, the VIP is you. Remember that. You, not anyone else. You are. So remember that. Put all your energy, your focus, your drive into you and watch the results speak for themselves.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.